Countdown to Election Day. The big vote now just days away.
Tonight, Canadians get ready to have their say as candidates make their final pitches to the public. Good evening. Canadians cast their ballots on Monday.
From tariffs to affordability to housing, the issues and interest in this race is particularly high. We'll have more on what the leaders are saying in this final stretch. But first, to the pulse of voters. CTV Siobhan Morris has been out talking to people today and joins us live with more. Siobhan.
We have seen that voter engagement much higher than it has been in any recent election you can think of, at the federal level anyway. And today, some very strong opinions about who should lead the country come Tuesday. This is Toronto St. Paul's. It had been a safe Liberal seat until last June, when a Conservative nabbed it in a by-election, the canary in the coal mine of Justin Trudeau's time as Prime Minister. 10 months later, same local candidates, but a whole new race.
I think it'll change back to the Liberals, and I think that'll be a good thing.
He's not alone in this pocket of Toronto.
Because I don't trust Poilievre.
A leader too Trumpy for her liking.
Giving rights to people that have so much money, whereas the regular working people are having a hard time just getting by.
It's that struggle motivating others to vote for their Conservative candidate.
He stands for common sense. He stands for you and I.
It seems the change at the top of the Liberal Party has earned them a second look from people who drifted away.
I wasn't sure for whom to vote when Trudeau was in power, and I don't know. But now I have my leader.
That feeling that everything is different after Trudeau's departure shows up in other parts of Toronto.
Looks like we've got a real competent person to fill his shoes, which is pleasant, and I'm worried about some of the alternatives.
An alternative Kyle is leaning toward, influenced by friends and family to vote Conservative.
Wages for us, at least, like for me, for where I work, doesn't really go up. And the cost of living and housing for us, and especially within the Indigenous community, is a big problem.
Some voters have already cast their ballots for the candidate that ticks their boxes.
Balance, smarts, experience, not telling lies.
You can vote on Monday from 9:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Now, we encountered quite a few people today who'd already cast ballots, one of the 7 million Canadians who voted at the advanced polls. Reporting live, I'm Siobhan Morris. Nathan, back to you.
Thank you, Siobhan. And for the main party leaders, this is their last chance to get their message out to the masses.
And as we head into the last weekend of the campaign, they made highly strategic stops across the country today looking for gains or to hold on to tight races. CTV's Jeremy Charon reports.
A morning campaign stop in Saskatoon for Pierre Poilievre today saw the Conservative leader promise to get right to work if elected.
The bad news for the politicians is your summer vacation is cancelled.
Poilievre vowed to keep Parliament open all summer until MPs pass legislation on key platform promises. He also pitched Canadians on how his party would handle Donald Trump's tariffs.
We need to take direct action to end the tariff chaos with a position of strength, not by spreading lies to exaggerate, as Mr. Carney has done, but rather by becoming more self-reliant, strong, and sovereign.
While visiting a steel plant in Sault Ste. Marie today, U.S. President Donald Trump's trade war was a top priority for Mark Carney, too.
This is Canada. We decide what we do here.
Campaigning today in a riding where the Liberal incumbent is in a tight three-way race, Carney emphasized the importance of the Canadian steel industry, which has been hit with 25% tariffs.
So he's threatening Canadian workers in auto manufacturing and workers throughout the industry's supply chain, including here at Algoma.
Campaigning in Toronto, NDP leader Jagmeet Singh had a pitch for the role his party could play.
The only way, and proven by our history, Liberals do the right thing are when New Democrats force them to do it.
As both the NDP and the Bloc Québécois in the final days of this campaign focus on who is best suited to hold the balance of power.
Sadly, the Bloc is basically a useless party.
If I were Mr. Singh, I would do anything not to be compared with the Bloc Québécois at present time.
Now, as we enter the final weekend of the campaign, expect leaders to make a fast and furious push to the finish, with stops scheduled across the country in the coming days. Jeremy Sherrill, CTV News, Ottawa.
Going to be a busy weekend, and a reminder to join CTV News on election night, Monday night, for results, analysis, and perspective from all across the country. Our coverage gets underway at 7 p.m. Eastern, led by Omar Sajidina and Vashi Capellos.
And also tonight, the house built by Leaf Nation. Fans go all out with signs, jerseys, and flags as Toronto is on the verge of a sweep in the Battle of Ontario. We have a preview.
But first, some unexpected developments today in a sexual assault trial of 5 former World Junior hockey players.
Soon after the accused, the jury and attorneys gathered at the London courthouse this morning, the judge declared a mistrial. Here's CTV's Nick Paparella on what happened.
It's a startling turn of events after a 14-member jury was selected on Tuesday for the sexual assault trial of 5 former Canadian World Junior hockey players. Justice Maria Cariccia walked into the courtroom Friday morning, called in the jurors, and declared a mistrial, simply saying, "Good morning, members of the jury. I'm sorry to have to tell you that I have declared a mistrial in this case. As a result of that, this jury is discharged. Thank you for your service. You are now free to go." Thursday was tied up with legal arguments after an abrupt halt to the proceedings the day before. Justice Cariccia made her decision and informed the court of her intention. However, we are not permitted to report why a mistrial was declared due to a ban on publication. Since the court was aware of the mistrial, another jury panel with dozens of prospective jurors was summoned to the London courthouse. And by late afternoon, a new 11-woman, 5-man jury was selected, with 2 of them being alternates.
Things happen in a trial. It's hard to speculate.
Joseph Newberger is a criminal defense lawyer.
Sometimes certain issues may arise that might have, in a way, compromised the jury panel. And then that comes to the attention of the judge or one of the lawyers, and therefore the judge would be alerted to this issue. Then there would be a discussion with both the defense and the Crown and determine if there's a way to avoid a mistrial. And if there isn't, then the safest thing to do in order to protect the integrity of the fairness of the trial process is to declare a mistrial and then pick a new jury fresh.
Like the media, the 5 defendants in this case, Alex Formanton, Cal Foote, Dylan Dubé, Carter Hart, and Michael McLeod, were all aware of what was going to happen, and like everyone else, sat in the courtroom as a new jury was chosen. The 5 men are charged in connection with an alleged incident involving a lone female at a downtown London hotel room in June of 2018. All of them have pled not guilty. Evidence is expected to be heard on Monday or Tuesday in this case. Barring any further delays, the trial is still slated to last 8 weeks. Nick Paparella, CTV News.
Meantime, a jury's found 2 people guilty of first-degree murder in the deadly shooting of an Ontario provincial police officer. Randall McKenzie and Brandy Stewart Sperry were both found guilty in the death of OPP Constable Greg Pierre near Hagersville nearly 2.5 years ago. Pierre was fatally shot while he responded to what seemed to be a routine call about a vehicle in a ditch. He was 28 years old and had just learned that morning he had successfully completed his probationary period with the OPP. The 2 accused were sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 25 years.
This has been an incredibly challenging period for Provincial Constable Greg Pierre's family, the members of the OPP, and their loved ones. Provincial Constable Pierre was a committed officer who served with courage and integrity. His loss continues to be felt by the entire policing community.
We want to thank the jury who worked hard on behalf of this community to ensure that justice was done. We want to thank members of the Ontario Provincial Police and other police services who worked long and hard hours to ensure that, that an outstanding job was done on this case. We want to thank all members of the public who rendered assistance at the scene. Mostly, though, our thoughts are with Greg Pierre, his friends, his family, his colleagues. The impact on them is not lost on us.
The jury handed down the verdict late last night after deliberating for about 6 hours following a 4-week trial.
Despite hopes of saving its flagship stores, Hudson's Bay begins liquidating the remaining locations. Still ahead, shoppers scoring bargains while saying goodbye to a Canadian retail icon.
But first, a look at the forecast. Here's a live look at the city. Conditions are comfortable tonight. Overall, the weekend's looking good. There is a chance of rain tomorrow, but then sunshine. Lindsay Morrison is here with a look at the current conditions. Hey, Lindsay.
Hey, Nathan. And we do have that chance of rain maybe as early as this evening, although it looks as though many parts of the GTA once again are going to remain dry. That's been a bit of the pattern this week. Here's a look at the current satellite and radar. We are seeing wet weather in some parts of southern Ontario, especially around Muskoka, and then thunderstorms approaching extreme southwest Ontario, around Windsor, for example. We recently enjoyed a period of sunshine. Now we're starting to cloud over, but that sun allowed us to warm up. It is 17 degrees right now at Pearson Airport, surpassing our forecast daytime high for today. And it's still quite mild in cities like London and Windsor, another 20-degree day there. Winds still coming out of the east, a little bit stronger than they've been the last couple of days. Waking up tomorrow morning, potential for some wet weather. It's going to be a cool and cloudy day overall, but lots to look forward to on Sunday. We'll take you through the weekend forecast coming up. For now, Nathan, back to you.
Thank you, Lindsay. You could say it's a sure sign the Hudson's Bay run as Canada's oldest retailer is coming to an end.
Liquidation sale notices went up at the retailer's 6 remaining stores today, dashing hopes its financial future could be saved. CTV's John Musselman joins us live from the Bay's flagship location at Queen and Bay. John.
Well, Michelle, the iconic department store is on its last legs. Today, people are trying to cash in on some of those liquidation sales. At the flagship store at Queen and Bay, shoppers were expressing mixed feelings, happy to be getting a deal on products.
I got some clothes for my kids. Everything's 40% off, so it's actually a pretty good deal.
I got bath towels for $16, and they're usually $50.
But also a little sad to see this Canadian department store fading into history.
It's very sad.
Retail analysts say the liquidation is a sad day for the Bay, a company with more than 350 years of history behind it.
They were in a channel, a department store channel, which is in decline. They couldn't create an affinity with millennials, who are the key shoppers now, and they stopped investing in the brand years ago, and it was on sort of just a descent.
The Bay filed for creditor protection last month. It was hoping to find a buyer for 6 of its stores, including the downtown location, but nothing has come through.
It's sad because it's a Canadian icon, and it's part of our culture.
The closings will leave a lot of vacant retail space in prime locations right across this country. Analysts say malls and landlords will need to rethink how they use that space.
I don't think they're going to have a hard time filling it. You know, in some of the A malls, like a Yorkdale or something of that nature, you might see landlords demolishing and putting in condominiums. They might divide up the space by level and have a different retailer, a smaller retailer by level. So it's going to be all over the map, depending on the location and how marketable the location is.
Meanwhile, as the Bay begins to liquidate its remaining stores, a Superior Court judge gave the store permission to move forward with an auction sale of store artifacts, including the 355-year-old Royal Charter, which launched the company. Historians consider it one of the country's most significant archival documents. The Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs has raised concerns about an auction, asking for the sale of any items linked to the First Nations to be halted. And back at the store here in downtown Toronto, a lot of people we talked to today said they're happy to get those deals, but really they're quite upset to see that the store is probably gone. Reporting live, I'm John Musselman. I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, John. One person is dead following an industrial accident in Mississauga. Emergency crews were called to the area of Kimball Street and Drew Road around 6:40 p.m. yesterday, following reports of a large explosion. The victim was pronounced dead on the scene. The Ontario Fire Marshal and the Ministry of Labour are investigating.
The Vatican says more than 250,000 people filed past the open casket of Pope Francis at St. Peter's Basilica over the last 3 days.
That viewing period is now over as final preparations are made for the funeral tomorrow morning. CTV's Genevieve Beauchemin has the latest.
Mourners passed through the main door of St. Peter's Basilica day and night. Still, as the gates were closed, many had to be turned away. We're too late, she says. It's so unfortunate. During an evening prayer service, the casket of Pope Francis was sealed. This in preparation for a final farewell for the funeral of a shepherd, not of a sovereign, says the Vatican.
I began to see how he was drawn.
Bishop William McGrattan heads the Canadian Conference of Catholic Bishops. He reflected on the Pope's humility as he filed past his casket.
As I was sort of moving through the basilica, if I stopped, I found people coming up and asking for prayers and for blessings. There was a couple of times where some of the guards asked me to move on. So I realized that people are drawn to this moment. They feel close to God and Pope Francis.
The 149 cardinals present in Rome this morning held a meeting putting finishing touches on the day to come. Security has been stepped up. This ahead of the arrival of dignitaries, including political leaders from around the globe and royalty. Not far from the Vatican, an artist reflected on the guest list with a mural calling it a parade of hypocrisy. But some hope the funeral will unite people from around the world in a moment of reflection.
St. Peter's is something profound.
Toronto's Falguni Debnath says the Pope has a special place in her heart. She converted to Catholicism last year and flew to Rome for the funeral.
The way he lived his life is a way that is almost out of fashion because he refused to be defined by polarities.
Moving around the square will be next to impossible with so many people expected at the funeral. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Rome.
And CTV will have special coverage of the funeral for Pope Francis tomorrow, hosted by Omar Sachedina. That begins at 3:30 in the morning on CTV, CTV News Channel, and streaming live on ctvnews.ca.
The U.S. president has claimed he's spoken with China's president about the ongoing trade war, but Beijing says that hasn't happened. As he departed for the Pope's funeral, Donald Trump was asked when the supposed discussion took place.
I spoke to him numerous times. So we're leaving and going to Rome, where we'll be attending the funeral of Pope Francis. Some of you are going to go. Anybody going? And it's going to be very interesting. We're going to meet with a lot of the foreign leaders. They want to meet. Trade deals are going very well.
The U.S. president also renewed comments about making Canada the 51st state. In an interview published by Time magazine today, he was asked if, quote, trolling in his suggestions he would like to see the U.S. take over Canada, Greenland, and Panama. He said he was not, as federal party leaders here say that will never happen.
Meanwhile, there was a dramatic escalation in tensions between the White House and the U.S. courts over President Trump's immigration crackdown. FBI agents arrested a county judge in Wisconsin, identified as Judge Hannah Dugan. This follows an incident last week at her courthouse. Court documents say plainclothes immigration officers arrived to arrest a suspect on trial for domestic abuse who was in the U.S. illegally. FBI Director Kash Patel claims the judge told the ICE agents to leave and aided the suspect in evading arrest. The judge is charged with obstruction. Wisconsin's governor and other critics say the Trump administration is undermining the courts.
This country has a system of checks and balances and a separation of powers for good reason. And we all saw today a direct attack on the system. It is clear that FBI is politicizing this situation to make an example of her and others across the country who oppose these attacks on the judicial system and our nation's immigration laws.
The judge says she wholeheartedly regrets and protests her arrest, saying it was not made in the interest of public safety. She'll be back in court in May.
Staying in the U.S., Luigi Mangione has pleaded not guilty to all federal charges over the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The plea comes a day after prosecutors formally stated their intent to seek the death penalty. Mangione appeared at a Manhattan courtroom today for his arraignment. He faces 4 federal charges: murder, using a weapon with a silencer, and 2 counts of stalking. Mangione has also pleaded not guilty to a separate set of New York State charges over the killing of the healthcare CEO.
Also today, disgraced former U.S. Congressman George Santos was sentenced to more than 7 years in prison. The New York Republican was convicted on aggravated identity theft and wire fraud in connection with his 2022 midterm campaign. Santos pleaded guilty back in August and said in a letter to the judge he takes full responsibility for his crimes. He was also ordered to pay more than $373,000 in restitution.
The World Food Program says its food stocks in the Gaza Strip have run out under Israel's nearly 8-week-old blockade. The UN says 80% of Gaza's population of more than 2 million relies primarily on charity kitchens for food, and all other sources have shut down under the ongoing blockade. Israel cut off entry of all supplies to Gaza on March 2nd and then resumed its bombardment and ground offensives, shattering a 2-month ceasefire with Hamas. It says it's aiming to pressure the militants to release hostages they still hold. Rights groups have called the blockade a starvation tactic and a potential war crime.
Tensions between India and Pakistan were on full display in the wake of this week's deadly attack in Kashmir. Indian authorities destroyed the homes of 2 suspected militants accused of involvement in the attack on Tuesday that left 26 tourists dead. New Delhi has accused Pakistan of ties to the previously unheard of group behind the attack, something it denies. Both countries have unveiled a raft of measures against one another. Pakistan has closed its airspace to Indian aircraft, and India has suspended a water-sharing treaty. Officials on both sides have also hinted at military action.
Condemns India's unlawful and unilateral declaration to hold the Indus Water Treaty in abeyance, in blatant violation of the treaty, which clearly amounts to an act of war.
India and Pakistan have also revoked visas for each other's nationals. Each country administers a part of Kashmir, but both claim the territory in its entirety.
Closer to home, the Quebec government is stepping in after a dispute over the phrase "Go Habs Go." It's a rallying cry for the Montreal Canadiens, and the phrase is displayed by public transit buses in that city. But it was temporarily replaced with a French version after someone complained to Quebec's language office. Well, now the minister for the French language says the slogan is part of the DNA of Quebec and will be permitted. He also says future complaints about the phrase "Go Habs Go" will be dismissed.
Well, it's a great time to be a Maple Leafs fan. Just look at this scene from outside Scotiabank Arena last night.
The Buds pulled off another overtime win, giving the team a decisive lead in the first round of the playoffs. CTV's Mike Walker has more on how Leafs Nation is riding high tonight.
Austin Matthews, another face-off win. Shot, Benoit!
A second straight overtime thriller in the Battle of Ontario. The Leafs now 1 win away from advancing to the second round.
Bring out the brooms. Game 4, sweep, take it home.
The Game 3 winning goal sent fans into a frenzy at Maple Leaf Square last night.
It's going to be an absolute sweep. Senators, you have nothing on us.
Fans still riding high today at this Maple Leaf shrine outside a Midtown home.
History shows Ottawa's not going to beat us.
Cars will definitely stop and just, share the joy with us.
Where superfan Sarah Adamson is proudly updating her scoreboard to reflect the Leafs' 3-0 series lead.
And they're going to do it in 4. I think that we have the momentum.
Defenseman Simon Benoit played the unlikely hero, scoring less than a minute and a half into overtime to give the Buds the 3-2 win, calling it the biggest goal of his career.
We know it's so hard to score in the playoffs, so getting that goal was pretty exciting.
The Leafs spoiling Ottawa's first playoff game at home since 2017, now with the chance to sweep the Senators on Saturday night.
The last game is always the most difficult, and you expect it to be the most competitive.
The players bracing for Game 4 to be the toughest yet.
You can't get too far ahead of yourselves. Just continuing to focus on our process, not focused on results necessarily, but doing what we need to do shift by shift.
Leafs Nation already looking ahead to round 2 and beyond.
They're going to do it this year. Move on to the next series against Florida. We won Florida, right?
But some are trying not to get too far ahead.
We just wait a little bit longer, maybe one more game, and then we start talking because,
No jinxing.
Only 4 teams in NHL history have erased a 3-0 deficit to win a series. The last time the Leafs swept a series was back in 2001 against Ottawa. Mike Walker, CTV News.
And there's some controversy coming from last night's game. The National Hockey League has fined the Ottawa Senators $25,000 for unsportsmanlike conduct during warm-ups prior to Game 3 last night. According to reports, Sens player Nick Cousins shot a puck at Leafs goaltender Anthony Stolarz before the game.
Coming up, pulling back the curtain on how the TTC keeps track of its tracks. A rare look at the engineer's annual analysis of the system to ensure a safe ride.
So it's possible that our weekend could be a little unsettled at times, especially early on. But here's the thing. It looks like it's mainly areas outside of the GTA. Look at how this is expected to play out. So tonight, risk of thunderstorms, mainly north and southwest of here. And then into tomorrow, maybe some wet snowflakes in some areas. Less of a concern for Toronto. And look at Sunday. We want to talk about the sunny details and the mild weather that is expected to follow us into Election Day. A full look at your 7-day forecast is coming up here on CTV News, and stay with us. We've got another full night of great shows for you right here on CTV.
We have a rare inside look tonight at how the TTC works to make sure its trains run safely and smoothly.
Officials are about to begin a detailed inspection of the many kilometers of tracks that run through the city, tracks countless commuters rely on every day. CTV's Allison Hurst reports.
This is the laser that projects the line over the rail.
Installation of a laser underneath this rail car is underway. The track geometry measurement system, it's called, is used to survey all 141 kilometers of track on the TTC subway system for any defects that can be millimeters in size.
This is the cameras that look at that rail that's illuminated to then produce a measured outline of the rail.
A GPS on the front captures the location, and all the information is sent to a computer in the car for analysis.
This is the operator's console, where we monitor the system to make sure it's performing properly and where we record the data and check the progress.
If there's any defect found on the track, it can result in a restricted speed zone until it can be fixed.
It doesn't mean it's unsafe. It's safe because of the restricted speed zone.
It's one of 5 ways TTC engineers assess the track's wear and tear. Their survey is done annually, usually in spring following the extreme winter weather, and has been used since 2015.
The nightly maintenance window is basically the only time we have to address these track defects and renew the assets.
The roughly week-long survey costs about $250,000 US. The survey starts on Monday and runs until May 5th. During that time, they will do 2 passes of the entire track, and we expect to hear the results in June. Allison Hurst, CTV News.
And if you're planning to take the subway this weekend, there's a partial closure on Line 2 to keep in mind. The TTC says there'll be no trains running between Kipling and Jane stations both Saturday and Sunday because of track work. Shuttle buses will be running instead, and regular service is set to resume Monday morning at 6.
And a heads up for GO Transit riders. Metrolink says there will be no train service on the Barrie line all weekend. This is to accommodate critical track work. GO buses will replace trains at all stations except for Downsview and Union. Metrolink says the track work may lead to some Barrie line trips departing at different times on Monday and Tuesday as well.
Also this weekend, Army Reserve personnel will be conducting convoy and supply operations training on roads between Toronto, North Bay and Burwash. There may be increased military traffic on highways, including the 400, 69 and 11. The Department of National Defense says the exercise is meant to ensure personnel are ready to respond to emergencies such as flooding and wildfires.
And whatever your plans this weekend, it's always nice when the weather cooperates. And that happens, I feel like, a lot more as we head into, May, which is coming after this is the last weekend of April.
Yeah, it just feels like we're getting a steady, just general improvement of the weather conditions, which is nice.
Yeah, and I think temperatures are more consistently now where they should be, or slightly warmer. We're going to find ourselves pretty comfortable at times this weekend, with an exception. Heading into tomorrow, we're actually going to experience our warmest temperature in the morning, and then we'll feel a little bit cooler in the afternoon thanks to some changing winds. But there's lots to like when it comes to Sunday, and we're going to warm up again at times next week. Let's first, though, I want to take you high in the sky above High Park because, yeah, it is cherry blossom season, or just about. You might be able to see on the trees there. The blossoms are about to blossom. We're keeping an eye on this for you. Perhaps next week we will be at peak cherry blossom stage. And, you know, there's a few different parks that you can check out in Toronto, not just High Park, but Trinity Bellwoods, Woodbine Park. There are all kinds of places to get outside and enjoy this spectacular moment of spring here locally in the GTA. Let's talk temperatures. You know, we ended up overachieving late this afternoon as far as our high is concerned, climbing all the way to 18 degrees. It is still 17 right now. And then tonight we're going to fall to about 11. That's warmer than normal. Average overnight low at this point in April is 6 degrees. Starting off the day around 11, and then that temperature is actually going to tumble a bit as we make our way into the afternoon. By late afternoon, we're around 8 degrees. The reason for this, a very brisk northwest wind. You're going to feel it if you're outside tomorrow, gusting to around 60 kilometers per hour. So a temporary cool down followed by another surge of warmth as we make our way into the early part of next week. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Here's a current look at the satellite and radar. We've been watching some lightning make its way across the border into extreme southwest Ontario. And then there's been rain heavy at times north of Barrie in through Muskoka. A wider big picture look at this couple of disturbances here shows that, yes, this is going to continue to sweep eastward through the night tonight, and then the wraparound effect is going to impact some communities into tomorrow. There are rainfall warnings in place for parts of northern Ontario and Quebec. We're not going to see all that much here locally in Toronto unless we're able to maybe see a thunderstorm develop tonight. The chances of that happening have been becoming less and less. There's midnight tonight, around the time that a front is going to swing through, so just be mindful of that. Waking up tomorrow morning, maybe some scattered wet weather, but doesn't look like a sure thing by any means. Does appear to, though, be a mostly cloudy day. And then see that blue that you see there over toward Bancroft and again the Quebec border. Maybe some wet snowflakes at times tomorrow, and again some steadier rainfall in these parts of the province. Heading into Sunday, though, beautiful clearing. We are going to enjoy some sunshine and mild temperatures once again. So get outside and enjoy. 17 for the high. Election day, of course, is Monday. It looks like conditions are going to be quite fair. Mix of sun and cloud. Afternoon high of 18. And then warmer still into Tuesday with an afternoon high of 22 degrees. But keep the umbrella handy for that day. May officially arrives on Thursday. That's your look at the weather. Nathan and Michelle, over to you.
Thank you, Lindsay. Also tonight, thousands could have it and not even know it. The risk of Lyme disease rises in warmer weather, and there are concerns inadequate testing could lead to misdiagnosis. We explain.
Now more than ever, Canadians need to know where our leaders stand. Tariffs, job security, sovereignty, an election like never before. Now more than ever, CTV News delivers a Canadian voice with perspective that cuts through the clutter, focusing on the stories that affect us all, connecting you to Canada's most trusted news, wherever you are. CTV News, now more than ever.
Rising temperatures gets us all outside, but that can raise the risk of contracting tick-borne illnesses.
A southwestern Ontario woman is sharing her experience with Lyme disease, telling CTV's Scott Miller how it's changed her life.
Michelle Lascherity wants everyone to know that Lyme disease is no joke.
My day-to-day life is really unpredictable. And if I'm going to do something like simple like wash my hair, that's my activity for the day. I'm so exhausted that I can't do anything else.
Lascherity contracted Lyme disease in 2011 during a hike along the Bruce Trail, but she wasn't diagnosed until 2015. She suffered from deep fatigue, chronic and intense pain with bouts of facial paralysis and hair loss ever since.
When I got Lyme disease and it took so long to diagnose it, at that point it was already chronic. And then anything else that's out there that you can catch, I think I've got them.
Compromised by Lyme disease, Lascherity caught COVID in 2020. She suffered 2 pulmonary embolisms and deals with long COVID symptoms now. In 2024, she was diagnosed with Forester's disease, which means her body overproduces calcium, causing painful bone spurs that pass into her nervous system and organs.
I think Lyme disease, well, I know it weakens your immune system. And when that happens, it opens the door for other things.
Nearly 1,900 Ontarians were diagnosed with Lyme disease in 2023, 84 of them ending up in hospital. That's a far cry from the 450 Ontarians diagnosed in 2015. Lascherity says there's much more publicity and education surrounding the tick-borne disease now than when she was diagnosed, but testing and treatment still have a long way to go.
It's really hard to find a Lyme literate medical doctor. And once you find one, you then need treatment. And there's all kinds of controversy around testing. Testing in Canada tests for about 3 to 6 of the strains, and there's over 50 different strains of this bacteria.
LaCharity recently spoke to the Probus Club of Grand Bend about her Lyme disease journey and how it's dramatically changed her life. She says she doesn't want anyone else to end up like her. Her life changed forever by one tick's bite.
There are thousands and thousands of people, I believe, in Canada who have chronic Lyme disease but don't know they have it because they haven't had a proper diagnosis. And that means that they suffer or maybe have been misdiagnosed.
Near Grand Bend, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Grammy nominee Benson Boone is out with a new song. The track is titled Mystical Magical. The pop star first premiered the song during his set at the Coachella Music Festival. It's the second single to be released from his upcoming sophomore studio album titled American Heart, which is set to debut on June 20th. He's set to promote his album as he makes his Saturday Night Live debut May 3rd.
Actor London Brown is a multifaceted performer. The one-time educator is enjoying his 5th season on Power Book 3, Raising Canaan. CTV's Andrea Kay spoke to Brown about his journey to performing and his recent wave of success.
Hey, Merry Christmas. No way.
A chance meeting with a fan never gets old for multifaceted performer London Brown. His career has been on an uphill trajectory for years, but as a kid, he never thought this is where he would be.
And you are?
Marvin Thomas. Uncle Marvin. My mom's older brother. Be loyal and tough.
Marvin.
London Brown is enjoying his run as Marvin on Power Book 3, Raising Canaan. The actor wears a lot of hats. He was an educator.
I worked in the after-school program, worked with the Boys and Girls Club, as well as I was a theater teacher. And so I was able to see the students during the day hours and then the after-school hours. And then on the weekends, I did a program, Hope for Kids. And so so with all these different programs, I don't know what the connection was with me and young people, but it's there, still there.
But it was one of his teachers who opened his eyes to the possibility of being a performer.
Initially, I wanted to be an animator. I thought that was my life, because I used to love to draw. I thought that was it. And then I stumbled across this thing called acting from a theater teacher who believed in me and said, hey, London, you should do this thing called acting. I didn't know I could act.
From acting in theater, he landed his first TV series role in The Hustle.
The first TV show was just learning the camera stuff. The second TV show, just getting my confidence up when I landed that. So I started to feel like, okay, maybe I belong here.
The South Central LA native says each role has taught him more about the business.
By the time I got to Ballers, I was ready to work. I'm playing opposite of Dwayne Johnson.
His role on Ballers was only supposed to be for 2 episodes. It lasted 5 years. He's now an enforcer and co-star on Raising Canaan. This, too, is in its 5th season.
White people wear clothes, black people wear outfits, totally different.
He's also a comedian, and each opportunity has opened another door. He's opened for Chris Tucker, and he says he loves to perform comedy, but he's not done with acting. From drama, he's ready to spread his wings.
I love drama as an actor, the challenge of drama, but it wouldn't be bad to get a nice comedy or rom-com.
Power Book 2, Raising Canaan is available now on Stars. Andrea Case, CTV News.
Hollywood insiders are expecting this weekend could set a post-COVID record for the final few days of April.
I've been all over this world.
Deadline projects Sinners, starring Michael B. Jordan, will bring in $30 million U.S. or more in its second weekend. That's expected to place ahead of The Accountant 2, which is on track for a $23 million debut. Not far behind, Disney's expected to rake in up to $20 million with its 20th anniversary re-release of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith.
After the break, doing the dirty work together as a team. The city launches its annual Clean Toronto Together program, asking everyone to pitch in for 20 minutes.
Hey there.
there, Toronto. I'm Teddy Wilson.
And I'm Nicole Servinas. So welcome to Things to Know TO.
Welcome indeed. So each week our show shines a spotlight on some of the awesome businesses, services, initiatives, and events right here in our fantastic GTA community.
It's companies like these that make Toronto one of the world's greatest, most vibrant cities, and also a pretty great place to work, play, and live in.
Well said. So join us every Saturday on Things to Know TO.
And don't forget, you can catch all of our episodes on our website, thingstoknowto.ca.
Balance, smarts, experience, not telling lies.
Updating our top stories, Toronto voters are getting ready to have their say in the federal election as party leaders fan across the country, hoping to secure Canadians' votes. There was record turnout in the advance polls, indicating strong interest ahead of Election Day on Monday.
Things happen in a trial. It's hard to speculate.
A surprising turn of events at the sexual assault trial of 5 former World Junior hockey players. The judge declared a mistrial in the case for reasons that are subject to a publication ban. A new jury was assembled soon afterwards. The players have pleaded not guilty in the case, stemming back to an incident, or an alleged incident, in a London hotel room in 2018.
They were in a channel, a department store channel, which is in decline.
And today marked the start of liquidation sales at a number of Hudson's Bay stores that the retailer had been hoping to keep open despite closing its other locations across the country. The Bay entered creditor protection last month. The company also moving ahead with auctions of store artifacts like its 355-year-old Royal Charter.
Remember to keep up to date day and night at ctvnewstoronto.ca and by downloading the CTV News app. And if you have a news tip, photos, or video of breaking news, let us know.
On the markets, the Canadian dollar ended the week moving down to 72.14 cents U.S. Our fix on Western Canadian Select rose 42 cents to 53.32 a barrel. And the TSX dropped 17 points today, landing at 24,710.
The Business Report is brought to you by Canadian Western Bank, the bank built for business.
Stats Canada is out with an early estimate for March retail numbers. It shows sales were up 0.7% last month. TD Bank economist Maria Soloveva says the increase was driven by Canadians making purchases driven by looming tariff concerns. While the figure may be revised, it would be enough to reverse a 0.4% drop in February linked to slower sales of new cars.
Meantime, a new survey shows there's been another drop in how many Canadians are considering buying an electric vehicle. Auto Trader surveyed more than 1,800 people online. 42% said they'd consider an EV for their next purchase. That's down from 46% last year and 68% in 2022. The company says the findings show drivers are concerned about reduced government incentives, a lack of infrastructure, and long-term costs despite falling prices.
Residents and community groups are getting outside across the city to take part in the annual spring cleanup. The Clean Toronto Together initiative is now in its 20th year. It's billed as an effort to tackle some of the litter that built up over the winter season. Mayor Olivia Chow says the city has already gotten a major head start by deploying more than 1,000 pieces of cleaning equipment across the city over recent weeks.
Over the last 4 weeks, city staff have deployed litter vacuums, sweepers, power washer, leaf blowers, and the machines you see beside me. So far, in just a handful of weeks since the winter thaw, the city has picked up nearly 10,000 tons of debris. That's a lot.
Over the next few days, families, individuals, and businesses are encouraged to spend 20 minutes picking up litter in a local park, beach, ravine, or other natural space.
Just ahead, could this be the next workout craze? The body break duo back in the spotlight with a new Canadian-inspired exercise to boost spirits in these trying times.
Tonight, a mistrial declared in a high-profile sexual assault case.
The trial stops, everything is erased, and you start from scratch all over again.
What the trial twist means for 5 ex-World Junior hockey players. Later on CTV National News.
And a reminder, the CTV News at 6 podcast is available as a download every weeknight. And a special What's Up to those of you listening to the newscast live on News Talk 1010. As the trade war with the U.S. continues to drag on, a patriotic push is coming from a couple of familiar faces.
An iconic fitness duo giving Canadians something to get pumped about.
No better time like the present for Canadians to be strong.
We all know how important it is to keep your elbows up, but it does take strength and stamina to keep them up for any length of time.
Yes, that's Hal Johnson and Joanne McLeod echoing the Canadian rally cry to push back against U.S. takeover threats and tariffs. The couple released a new body break video where they demonstrate a kettlebell move to, quote, boost your strength and spirit.
So let's keep our elbows up by buying Canadian products, supporting tourism across our beautiful country, and by being welcoming to those around the world who visit us.
And exercise your vote.
Until
next time, keep fit and have fun. Elbows up. Body break.
The couple has been vocal about abandoning their plans to spend time in the U.S. amid Donald Trump's ongoing comments about making Canada the 51st state.
I think they nailed it. And they bring back memories.
They haven't changed one bit. We watched their videos when we were kids. They look amazing. Yes. Yeah, that's fun. Should we do elbows up? Okay.
Elbows up.
Elbows up.
Yeah, and you know what's looking like a great weekend this weekend overall. If you want to get outside, maybe go for a run or do a little workout of your own. Only just be mindful of the fact that we're monitoring the potential for some showers tonight and into tomorrow. One more look at the satellite and radar. We do have rain extending from Midland, Penetanguishene through Port Carling over toward Huntsville, and a few thunderstorms around Windsor. And overnight tonight, it's going to drop to about 11 degrees, that temperature. Tomorrow's high around 13 degrees. And then the 7-day forecast, not too bad after that. Beautiful sunshine for Sunday. Michelle and Nathan.
Thanks, Lindsay. That's it for us, but be sure to join Heather Butts tonight at 11 for CTV National News, followed by Pauline Chan with your next local newscast at 11:30.
In the meantime, our coverage continues anytime on CP24 and at ctvnewstoronto.ca.
For Lindsay Morrison and all of us here at CTV News, thanks for watching and have a great night.